Here she is, the newest pickup. It's a 2006 Honda TRX 250EX. It's pretty dirty and looks a little rough, but I think it's actually not too bad. It's missing a couple things, but everything else looks like it's there, all the important things. I went and picked this one up last night. Drove about an hour and a half from me to get it, and I paid $425. I hope it's not too fucked up. Excuse my language. I mean, it looks like we can get this thing clean and it'll look 10 times better. It's crazy to me how people don't even wash their machines when they sell them. That's always been a trip to me. So I can go ahead and wash this one, and then we'll start tearing into it. I already took the battery out. It was completely dead. So got that over here on the trickle charger. Get that all charged up. I didn't really get much information on the quad. You know, it was kind of one of those come get it type deals. That's kind of the ones I look for. All of these things are fixable. You know, it's just, you can't buy the junky ones or the ones that people don't want. That's a big one too. But this is a really sought after quad. You know, a lot of people really like these, especially for the intermediate. You can, so it has a clutch, so it's technically semi-auto. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So we'll get this thing washed and then tear into it again. Wow, it looks significantly better already. Got some Alumabrite on the motor. Try to get some of that grit off. I'll scrub it down. Alright, so back on this 250. I got some of the plastics off to access the top of the engine. Got the valve covers off. Compression was okay. We read 165-ish. I mean, it's probably a little low, but for a little 250, I don't think it's going to be that bad. So right now, I just took off the back cover here. I'm going to take off the screw right here and get it at top dead center so I can adjust the valves. And then we'll go from there. Valves are inspected. Probably wouldn't hurt, dude. Alright, we're back at it on the 06 250EX. So I got a new battery and new solenoid and still slow cranking. So what I did is I went ahead and drained the oil, and come take a look at the oil. The oil actually looks pretty good. It's a little smoked. I mean, it's seen better days, but there's no metal or signs of damage to the motor, so that's good. But I'm just having an issue with it slow cranking, so I'm thinking maybe the timing chain's tight. So what I went ahead and did is I drained the oil, I popped these lines off, and I got all these bolts around the front case loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to break the seal and get that cover off and see what's going on inside of here. So let's do that. What I actually did was just remove the motor because we're gonna need to tear it down. I diagnosed that it has a bad crank. So what I did to remove the motor, it's really simple. It is there's one bolt on each side going through the motor, the two oil line fittings, the exhaust, the stator and neutral safety switch wires, which are over on the other side. Very easy to access, and then it just falls right out of the drive shaft splines. So pretty easy. So then we got over here. So we got our motor here. So what's happening is when I'm cranking it over, just from here, it's getting a really bad tight spot. And when I popped open the front side, there wasn't really much issue there. So my diagnosis is that the crank is bad. So we're going to go ahead and tear her down and get this thing all taken apart to get a new crank in. I ordered a new one. It should be here soon. So in anticipation for that, we'll just get this all torn down, and ready for the new parts. Got a gasket kit, crank, and I actually bought a new top end kit as well. It was literally 35 bucks on eBay. I mean, it's a cheap China kit, but you know what? Little 250 low compression motor. So I think it'll be just fine. This thing's already been taken apart before, so I imagine it's not the OEM piston in here. So we'll take a look and start getting this thing torn down. Alright, so what we'll first do is take off the valve cover. You've got 4 12mm head stud bolts. And they all have washers, so be mindful of those. Okay, now the head should come off. Okay, this looks pretty good. Gasket, trash. Cylinder, and then we'll get the piston off. So now we'll just remove all 13, I believe it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. We'll remove all these cover bolts. 8s for some reason. You idiot. Alright, don't mind me here. So now from there, we'll just start removing all the shift assembly stuff here. We got this, this, this. So these pieces all come out. Okay, so that come out.
Get back here.
Got all that stuff off. We're going to need to take this nut off, which is, I believe, a 24 millimeter. Yeah, so it's a 24 mil, but there is, actually it looks like they did not re-tap it. That's awesome. Okay, so this one is a reverse thread. So when you're taking it out, you know, tight is loose and loose is tight. So always remember that. Should be fine. So now we've got that. Go ahead and pop this off. I don't have a puller for this. So what I do is I just gently press around the edge and it lightly moves the clutch out. See? That's it. Not too crazy. No damage, nothing like that. And there's a washer in here. Don't forget that, but we're just going to put this nut back here so we don't lose this. So from there, you can now remove this one, which there's an indentation in the clutch here, so it can slide out. It really only slides out with those indentions. There's 2 of them on the clutch. So, there we go. So you can see the one-way is working really well. So no issues here. Actual clutch, and that one's a 22 millimeter. That's just a regular thread. So that comes off, and then this whole assembly should just come right out, just like that. So there's our clutch assembly. Put that away. So then we've got our cam gear with our timing chain, our oil pump gear, and our timing chain tensioner. That's good. Chain tensioner works good. I believe there's a washer under here. There should be. Yep. So there's a washer, and then it's got like a shoulder bolt. So make sure those all stay together. And there. Take this assembly off. The shift assembly. Shift assembly, and then this should come off, and there's one of these is a pin, this one here. Just like that, that comes out, and there's this little pin. You don't want to lose that. That's very important. Okay, so from there we can access the timing chain and cam gear. So the cam gear is held in by this little thing here, little retainer. I like to just screw this back in. Gear out. Just like that. And with the timing chain. That oil pump gear off here. Do the stator side here. Remove all the cover bolts here. That's it. Okay, so the stator covers off. Okay, so on this side, we'll just pull this rod, shift rod. And then we have this reverse piece here. You just undo the spring. Pull that out, and then this one comes out. So then your starter gears here. Alright, so if you have a Yamaha puller, the bolt that goes to that fits directly inside of here. So just thread that in. 17 mil. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and pop all these case bolts out and get this thing split. On this side. So there's 3 on the clutch side. Now this, oh wow. Well, we found a problem. This should not, I mean, it's rock solid. So that's our problem right there. So, went ahead and got a new crank. Beautiful. No play. Excellent. So in the next video we'll go ahead and reassemble everything. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.